PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking people.
Real Talk Live with Dr. Rodney Grimes. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Yes, with Sir Rod and Lady Z. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about we. And God we trust.
PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking.
Good evening. Welcome, everyone. I tell you, look, sometimes I just get overwhelmed. I get excited. I get nervous. I've been doing this for a while. Why do I get nervous? When I'm in the presence of some real powerful individuals. I just start to really want to be an A+ student. I want to give you the best of the best and come to you with energy that's going to blow your mind. And I can tell you today, it's going to blow your mind with the two young men that I have as my guests today. I'm going to have them to actually introduce themselves, so I don't pronounce nobody's name wrong because I'm still a little nervous right now. And I just want to tell them thank you for giving me this opportunity to do an interview with them, because they are going to be some gentlemen that y'all going to hear about in the future. I promise you that. So without further ado, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. How y'all doing today?
Doing great. Thank you for having us. Start off, my name is Maddox Cypess. I'm from Waldorf, Maryland. I currently attend University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, studying aerospace engineering.
Hi, everybody. My name is Boyan Tiwang. I grew up in Prince George's County, Maryland, and I currently attend University of Michigan as well, studying data science. Just finished my first year.
Now, listen what I'm telling you. Did you just hear these brothers talk about? They are in college in Michigan, right? University, right? And first of all, so I just got to take a deep breath because, again, this is an honor to be in y'all presence. Let me say this. It doesn't matter how old you are, you still can learn, right? And I am actually being inspired by both of you two young men. I am inspired because of your integrity, your desire to move forward, to represent the culture, family, and yourselves in a very, very unique and positive way. So I am so honored to be able to sit here with you. What I want to do is just ask y'all some questions. We're going to freelance this. First of all, both of you are 19?
18, going on 19 in about 20 days.
Oh, okay. All right. And how long have y'all been going to the university?
We're in the first year. We just finished up, so we'll be incoming sophomores.
Okay. Now, I'm going to start with you, Maddie. What was in your mind as a young man prior to wanting to go to college? I'm talking early on when you was going to school and you've been getting good grades the whole time you've been in school.
Right.
What was going through your mind, as a young man?
So I would say initially it kind of starts in the household. So coming from a family where we didn't really have everything laid out for us, we always had to work. Our parents worked overtime, picked up jobs for us, and kind of were always there for me when I needed someone to talk to. My mom is one of the hardest workers that I know. She's always been there, been that person that I could always come to when I have a problem or I don't feel confident in my ability to go through with something. So it really starts at home. And that's one thing I kind of stress to a lot of people is that when you have that support system behind you that always tells you that you can do anything, and when you always have God in your life, that's one of the biggest things for me growing up in a church family. I was able to just inspire others that are coming behind me. And that's kind of one of the bigger goals that I have as an African-American male in a society where they don't really see a lot of people doing great that are African-American males. And we want to push that image of how can we get better? How can we change the community? So that was kind of one of the bigger goals for me. I know in high school, even the goals that I did reach, becoming valedictorian, top of my class, my parents never really pushed that on me. That was one of the things I wanted for myself because at the end of the day, I wanted to always repay my family for what they did.
Man, that's amazing. And you, sir.
Yeah, well, honestly, Maddox said a lot of it. I have a similar background as him, where my parents are very hard workers. They go all the way into education. I don't know if I told you guys, but my parents both have their PhDs. My mom in nursing and my dad in computer science. So it's coming from a background like that, where it's like you're instilled with this self-starterness that you go out to achieve something. It's not like you can go and like say that, all right, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to give up halfway if it doesn't work out. No, it's that resilience that they have in themselves that gets instilled in me to go and push to achieve similar things up at college or in high school as I did.
And this is so funny that you both are saying this because on the podcast that we did yesterday, we was talking about where it actually starts, and it starts at the head of the household. And both of you have stated that your household played a part in where you're going and your desires to succeed,
Right.
which is so powerful. So now that you're actually getting to the point where now you're kind of navigating on your own a little bit, boy, yeah, I'll ask you,
hmm
is that a struggle for you?
I would say this: navigating on my own, in and of itself, that idea of that is a struggle because growing up, you always have your parents. You're always right there with them. They're like a 5 second walk upstairs if I needed to get them. But now I'm 600 miles away and I'm moving on my own. So 8 months in, I mean, 8 weeks in, I would say it was pretty smooth. Came there, I had my goals in mind, went to class, I did the extracurriculars that I set out to do. I was pretty much on my stuff. But then about 9 weeks in, I looked outside and I was like, I looked left, I looked right. There's nobody there. I walked down the corridor and this is my new home, but it did not feel like home. And so that was something that I had to kind of adjust to, where it was like, all right, I'm on my own. And yes, I still have my parents. They're a phone call away. But there's some things that I need to learn to figure out myself. And so that comes from running into problems when I'm in an emergency. I need to know how to conduct myself and handle myself in a way that would be representative of who I am and what I want to achieve.
So,
And I want
Matt,
to add on something to that also.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like kind of the same thing happened with me is most of my classes, like I had a rocket science class for aerospace that I was in, and I was the only black kid in the whole class, and kind of everyone looked at me or talked, and that's just one of the things that happens in the world. Just in predominantly white areas or schools, everybody's not going to be your friend. Everybody's going to look at you as if you don't belong there. And kind of the biggest thing is just remembering the work you have put in, just remembering where you came from and how much work it took to get here, because everything is not going to be handed to you, especially as an African American male in this society. They don't look at us and say, "Oh, he's supposed to be at the top of the charts for everything." They look at us and say, "We're supposed to be the ones working for you, but we want to be the ones that are leading and being the forefront of the upcoming generations to come." So that's kind of like one of the biggest things for me, kind of getting past those barriers and seeing, okay, if I'm going to be the only one in this class, I'm going to show them that a black man can do this. I'm going to show them that we can be the best in that field. If I go into aerospace, which is a very predominantly white area of study, then I want to be change. I always tell people that one of the biggest inspirations for me was Katherine Johnson working at NASA, and kind of looking back at everything. It's kind of a full circle moment because I will be working at NASA soon this summer, and it kind of is inspiring for me because I saw a black woman in STEM make a difference for a bigger impact or a bigger cause. It kind of put me in that mindset. Okay, if this is what she can do, I can do it too.
Man, I mean, let me tell y'all, I'm sitting here like I do a lot of interviews. This is probably one of the hardest ones that I'm ever going to do, and it's really really got me off kill because I'm just so impressed with both of you. I mean, y'all are serious inspiration to many men, and I'm hoping that some of the parents out there will call somebody else who has a child, especially a young male who's in high school, and have them to watch this program because these are two young men that are extremely intelligent, focused, and they know where they're going and they haven't forgot where they came from. Okay, now with that said, and y'all being in the fields where you are right
Mhm.
now, does it put you where you feel like you're carrying the pressure for all of us?
I wouldn't say it's more of pressure. It's more of just being a role model in the community that I was put in. Kind of being that there's a lot that is going on constantly. Let's just say that, especially in the DC metropolitan area, a lot of people are getting, I guess, off track of what they're doing, and we want to kind of set the standard of that image and kind of show them that we can also stay, in what we're meant to do. Not everyone is meant to be set in one area. For me, growing up, a large area of my life was sports, especially with basketball. But I had to kind of set my eyes on something else as I got older. What am I going to do that's best for my family, to put money on the table, put food on the table, and take care of the parents who have provided stuff for me? So that was kind of one of the biggest things for me. I would definitely say that staying on track with the people that are around me has been the greatest thing. One of the things my father told me as I grew up is surround yourself with people that you want to be like, and that's kind of what I did. Like, Boyan has been one of my best friends since I came to the University of Michigan, and he's been in my whole backyard for this whole time. We had no idea. So just kind of building those connections over time, kind of putting yourself out there to also learn, take constructive criticism from other people. I feel like that's one of the biggest things of growing up. A lot of people don't like when they're wrong, but kind of hearing that also allows you to grow as a person.
So when now that you're in this position, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so you know what you want, you know where you're going. Um, do you feel like okay that you got to focus on everybody else to succeed for them, or is it really a personal desire for you within you?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take that one. As Maddox was talking, I was thinking the same thing. Like, I don't feel any external pressure, mainly because the pressure that I put on myself is self-inflicted. I'd say that as a black man growing up, you don't see yourself in a lot of the spaces that you probably would idealize. You go on TV, you're underrepresented in probably some of the highest charting movies, TV shows, and things of that nature. And so when I was growing up, I always loved to play with Legos. I like creating stuff, and I like changing the forms of things and putting them in ways that only I could imagine. And growing up, that put me in kind of a standard where it was like I knew that I wanted to be a creator. And somewhere along the line, I kind of switched over to coding as I found that was my way for creative outlet. And I looked to see who's at the chart of the coding maps, who are the top software engineers, the CEOs of the tech booms. And I noticed there were very few black faces, if any. And so for me, that I took that personally. It's kind of a pride thing and a little bit of ego where it's like, I don't think that I'm less than anybody else in this field. So I'm going to this university and I'm going to study what I'm going to study. And I look around the class, maybe I see less people who look like me, but that means nothing to me. I need to go and get it, what I'm going to get, and I need to get mine. That's
Man,
it.
I wish I had an audience in here to be helping me applaud y'all because I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all are amazing. And I mean, that is the one thing that I was curious about when I was coming in, and I wanted to again, and you kind of just hit on that, being the only black male in the classroom. Does it seem like all the eyes are on you?
Yeah, I guess I'll take this one. It definitely does seem like everyone's looking at you. Like, I look back on my pictures from my Michigan Rocketry team this semester, and I was the only black person in the whole picture out of probably like 100 people. And that kind of just like put a mindset in me. It was just like, okay, if I'm going to be the only person that's black in this group, I have to set a good image. And that's one of the biggest things for aerospace at Michigan. I feel like there's not too many black people. Like, yes, we have organizations within that aerospace program. Black Students in Aerospace is one of the biggest ones that I joined. So just kind of having that community behind me has been really good. Comes with a whole bunch of connections and people that you can meet, mentors. I've had my own mentors this first year that kind of allowed me to have that moment of like, okay, these are my people, and I can kind of come back and feel like I'm at home. But also remember that we're here to set a standard other than getting good grades or things like that. It's more about the bigger image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think also, and I would say this, because even myself being in certain situations, sometimes I remove the image of me just being black.
Right.
I just be a man,
Exactly.
you know, a human being.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, you know, when you move forward, you don't have to just go in and say, oh, I'm the only black in here, everybody watching me. No, I'm another one of the young men in here who has the potential to be here and supposed to be here, not just because of the color of my skin. So, you know, again, kudos to both of y'all that you recognize and represent your culture properly, but at the same time, you're not intimidated in any kind of way because you just like everybody else there. You put your shoes and pants on the same way they do, and you study as hard as they do.
Right.
And that makes it where nobody can say they're giving you anything. You know, so will you be going to California as well?
That's right. Yeah, I'll be working at Amazon in East Palo Alto this summer. So around the same area as Maddox there.
Okay. Now, again, when y'all do these internships, how does that work as far as like, you know, you going into your fields?
I would definitely say it gives you a lot of great experience in what you want to do. I worked with the Navy over the past 2 summers, so I was able to get a bunch of experience from that. Met people that worked in the field over 20 years. Were able to kind of be my mentors over that span of that summer. I would definitely say that the internships that I have done, there hasn't been a lot of other Black students, but it kind of gives you that you know you're ready for the actual like after college experience of being in a job full time and working with the people. It's not as if you can choose who you work with. That's just not how life works. So being in those fields, I was able to just learn skills and kind of get an understanding of how people are in the workspace and kind of how you fit into the bigger puzzle. I feel like that's a bigger idea of being at an internship, being at a company, or being at a school. Being on a team in life is just you. How do you fit in with that bigger puzzle, and what can you do? What do you bring to the team? That's what a lot of these companies are asking and looking for when they interview you for a job position. What do you contribute? And that's one of the bigger things that I try to focus on. I always try to be myself because if I can be myself and still get a job, then I don't have to change myself just so a company can accept me. That's not what we want to do. We want to get into the company. We want to be happy. That's one of the bigger things that we try to focus on.
So, and I want both of you to answer these questions.
Mhm.
I got a couple other questions, but I want to ask you: do you have any siblings?
I do. I have 5 siblings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you the youngest or the oldest or your middle?
I'm in the middle.
Okay.
I'm in the middle also.
Okay. Now, so I want both of you to answer this question. Do you feel that you have to set the tone for the younger ones under you?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll take this one. My older siblings are incredibly successful in the fields that they went into. So I don't feel an intrinsic need to be the self-starter for the family. Everybody's already pushing to go and achieve something that's like something that my older brother achieved or my older sister achieved. But for me, I'm the accelerator. So if I don't follow suit with my siblings, I might feel some type of way. And obviously, that's not representative of who I am as a person. Maybe if I don't achieve a success that's like theirs, my path is meant to be different. And that's just all said and done right there. But I think as a person and as an older sibling to my younger siblings, I think I'd be doing them an injustice by not trying to achieve everything I set out to achieve from the start. So that's where I'm at. That's the position that I feel I need to fill for my family.
And you?
I would definitely say that my brother has worked so hard in the fields that he's gone into. Even my younger sister, she's still in school, she's still in high school, but I still strive to be that, person that's showing her that we can do these things outside of my family. And I just want to be that person in the family that's just like, okay, who's gonna step up and, be that person we need so everyone can be successful. One of the biggest things for me is that I never wanted to really overshadow anybody, but that kind of comes with being successful. And I just try to be that older brother because I feel like some people wish they had me in their life, a younger sibling to show them that you can do these things, or someone that's already successful. Like he said, he already has older brother and sister that went through the pathway, are at great colleges, great jobs, things like that. But what I want to do is just kind of be an inspiration for my little sister moving forward and kind of show her that you can do whatever you want, whether that's go to a top school or go to a smaller school and still be successful in whatever you want to do. But I'm really proud of my siblings and everything that they've done and will continue to do in the future.
First of all, I want to also say congratulations to your parents because they are the ones that's setting the real tone, for you to move forward. A lot of parents come up with this excuse when their children don't succeed, but they don't plant the seed.
Right.
You got to plant the seed in order for the seed to develop and grow. And this is what a lot of parents don't do. And this is something that is very, very important in society right now. So the other question I want to ask, and I want both of you to come from your inner spirit feelings on this. How would you address young black males that, and y'all know what's going on in society, right?
Right.
I want you to do this individually. If you was in a position right now to say to all the young black men that they stop right now from the ages from 7 to 17, 18, what would you say? What would you say to them?
I would definitely say that be the person that does the right thing at the end of the day. If you want to be successful, do it in the way that that's not going to get you in trouble. I feel like a lot of people try to misinterpret success. My success comes in the form of me taking care of my family, taking care of myself at the end of the day. I feel like a lot of people get heavily influenced, and that's one of the biggest things that I try to stress to people. Like when I grew up, I had so many people around me that I could have, just been a follower and just say, okay, let's go do this, whether it was drugs or whether it was alcohol or things like that, and kind of stay away from all that kind of stuff, because at the end of the day, it never ends well. And we kind of see a loop within the Black community that we want to fix now, because ongoing is 2026 and we have people that are getting incarcerated for different stuff that they shouldn't have to do, or they come from a great family but want to diminish themselves into following other people. And I feel like that's, at the end of the day, we can all do better. But like you said, it kind of comes in the family and those who are influencing these younger people as they grow up, exposing them to gang violence, things like that, exposing them to drugs early isn't going to be the best thing for someone who wants to be successful or someone who can be successful. And I feel like that's one of the bigger things with the family, that you're kind of limiting your child's success by exposing them to these things early on.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with everything you just said. If I had to look someone who was a young Black individual from ages 7 to 17 right now, I tell them this: you're Black, so that means you're looked upon with a lot more scrutiny than many other races and many other people of different demographics. But that can be your handicap, or you can treat it as an opportunity. And I'd like you to treat it as an opportunity, because yes, you're looked upon with more scrutiny, but achieving with that scrutiny being looked upon you from all ages, that's impressive. And people are going to notice that, and your family's going to notice that. And everyone you care about is going to appreciate you for what you've done, because you did what you wanted to do, but you did it in a way that ignored all of the environmental influences that could have brought you down. All of the people dragging at your heel. Like, I don't know if you guys were kids and maybe you were a little more grown than the other kids and they started dragging on your leg, but you're still walking. Be that soldier. Be that soldier in the environment that you want to be in. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't, because they're wrong.
And I want to add on one thing. I feel like a lot of people, especially in the DMV area growing up, I'm just going to be honest, like a lot of people would try to shame you or make fun of you just because you were smart. I feel like being smart is a superpower. You don't need to prove to anyone. Like, you can stay in your own lane, be smart, get good grades, go to a great college, and you could be successful, take care of your family. I don't see any downsides to that. I feel like a lot of people try to joke you just because, oh, you're not a star football player or you don't sling drugs on the street. There's no upside to doing that if you're not going to go anywhere with it. Say you have a successful college career and you're good, but say you go to a low major school and nothing happens, or you sit on the street trying to be a thug or trying to be a follower of someone else, that's not getting you anywhere. And I really want to stress to younger people that don't be a follower. Like, I've had so many opportunities to follow someone into a situation and they end up getting in trouble and going to jail. There's been so many situations that I've witnessed in front of me where people are getting in trouble. I just want to stress that, like, it's not going to work out at the end of the day. Be yourself, be you. Like, I'll always try to tell people, be you, whether follow your own path or, don't just tune out all of the noise, because at the end of the day, it's going to be you either in jail or it's going to be you dealing with the consequences of your actions. No one else is coming to save you. The system doesn't care about Black men. It doesn't care about the consequences. If you do something, no one's coming to save you.
Yeah. I mean, if I may, I'm just going to say this. This was a choice that I made when I was real young. I have some very lucrative people in my family, some cousins, man, that are like heroes to me. One brother, but I'm talking, I got some nephews that are really strong individuals. When I was coming up, I had to make a decision whether to try to maintain in the streets, but I chose to go into the Marine Corps. So to some young people, you sometimes got to make that strong choice, and it got to be within you to do that, so that you don't end up, because one place that is not hard to go, and that's to jail.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the easiest places you can end up if you do not follow the rules and regulations of the law. And we talk about not just the law of the that's of the economy and in life itself, but we just talking about the law of self-preservation. And I see what y'all are doing. Y'all are looking at that self-preservation, where you are saying, hey, we are still going to survive, not just because of yourselves, but you're setting that tone for other people to see. So again, I wish I had an audience in here, because we would be in here clapping and clapping and clapping to you and saying, job well done. To all of our viewers out there, I want y'all to understand something. This is one of the things that I push for. I push for this wholeheartedly. I want us to come together and support each other. I am here for you guys. I am here for the public. I want us to get to a point where we're able to have a platform that is not about who killed who, or she's pregnant now, or he just got caught for selling heroin, or whatever that case. I want this platform to be for gentlemen like we have right here, that are able to say, hey, look at us. We believe in what we're doing. We remember where we came from, and we know where we're going. And so a lot of y'all that hear my slogan, people to people, power to power, positive thinking people, it's a reason why I keep saying that. I keep saying that because it means so much. People to people, that's them right here, and me right here, and you right there, you that are out there. Now, just think about this. The power to power. Let me tell you something. The power you possess, and the power that other people possess. We talking when we take that power, and can you imagine with the power that y'all two are presenting right now is so powerful, because it's falling on me to make me still have to be a powerful man myself. We become powerful people, power to power. And that causes us to become positive thinking people when we come with the intent to move forward. So that slogan, I stick with it, and I see that in both of you. And that's something that we want to really, really resonate in our families. Both of these gentlemen had already said that it started at home with their parents. So kudos to you. Kudos to the parents. I tell you, you got to think about this. If you do not set the tone for your children to want to be something, then they will not want to be anything, because they don't even know the direction to go. So it starts right there at the home. And that's what I can see with both of y'all two gentlemen that it did. I don't know your parents, but I know yours personally. And I know they are very, very proud of you. And I know that you're very proud of them, because they stand for something. And, that's just so powerful. Uh, where y'all are today, man, is just amazing. It's just amazing. So, how many years, both of y'all can answer this, how many years do you have to put in your field right now to go to the level of the job that you want to go to?
For me, I have the choice of either doing a master's under the SUGS program for aerospace at University of Michigan. I think I do want to just directly go into the field after I finish my last 3 years ongoing of college. But I think moving forward, full-time positions, I'm looking at either Blue Origin or SpaceX, as they are schools that recruit heavily out of Michigan. And I've already kind of worked at the position over the last course of the school year, and kind of setting up past this year, because I always am the type of person to look forward to the future, what opportunities can I have, how will I do this? I want to plan my future out. I don't want to just be spur of the moment. So just kind of having those opportunities lined up for me as I move forward will always be like a great thing for me. And maybe we'll see what happens. I may do a master's, I may not, but at the end of the day, I know I'll have God in my corner. So.
Yeah, as for me, my first plan was to get in, do my 4 years of bachelor's, and then start climbing the ladder of software engineering, tech company. So I only need to do my 4 years here, but I'm still looking for other pathways that interest me, such as doing deep research with data science and a master's degree program, and potentially unlocking new pathways to allow myself to contribute to the field that I love at a higher level than I would with just the 4 years of bachelor's.
Man, it's amazing, gentlemen. I'm just again, uh, I cannot sit here and just not tell you how proud I am of you. And looking at which I have accomplished. Now, I really, really kind of tickled on this. So, do y'all have a backup? Like now we would talk about a person who went to school playing football and basketball and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They need to have a backup, right?
Right.
But y'all coming right at the head. Y'all coming right from the head, doing that way you are working with your brains. Do you have another passion outside of where you're heading? I'm gonna let you go first.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a billion things that I'm interested in that I could probably do outside of what I'm currently on the path towards. As for a backup, honestly, I haven't thought too much of anything other than the tech field. So studying data science will allow me to work in fields like maybe IT, software engineering, or maybe go into machine learning engineering. And so kind of where my head is at is if I don't hit one of these roles, then I have 5 others that I would be qualified for. But if I don't want to do the tech field, then I'll probably try and study something like psychology because that is something that's also important to me. And I think that, especially for young Black men, therapy is something that is seen as taboo for us. And we're humans too. We also need to help. We need someone to talk to from time to time. And sometimes we want somebody who's not our parents, someone who lives with us, because maybe sometimes they're the subject of discussion, either that or we find topics that we might want an expert to consult us on. So that's why I'd probably lean into psychology as my backup if the tech route didn't work out.
How about you?
I definitely will say that I've been kind of getting into trading a lot. I have a few friends that go to University of Southern California that I've been trading a lot online. I'm also into finance, so kind of seeing where that venture takes me, but that's kind of like a side thing. But also it could be like a full-time thing if you really love it that much. But it's a really good way to put yourself out there to make connections, make money on the side outside of just internships, because internships are only during the summer. Unless you have a job, during the school year, won't be making that much money. So that's kind of like something that you can get into. So there's kind of those two areas where I'm interested at.
Okay. I mean, again, this is amazing just to see that y'all are so focused. And that's the other thing that I'm curious about. Where did the focus really start to sit in? What age were you when you just knew, look, I want to be smart. I want to do the right thing. How old were you then?
I'll probably say I was in like third grade when that happened. Second, third grade was around the time I was like, okay, I'm pretty good at numbers. I'm pretty good at figuring out problems. One of the first clubs I was ever in was a robotics club. We ended up going to the robotics competition for that. So I was like, okay, maybe I could actually, do this full time and kind of get into these areas. Maybe robotics is kind of like another area that I'm interested in. Like I was on a robotics team, middle school, high school, elementary school. So just being around, things like you said, coding was kind of like the bigger things that he was interested in, like being able to see how coding makes something move, like in real life, like you doing something on a computer or in the background and seeing the actual effect in real life. And that kind of led me into aerospace because the work that I do in the background with rockets is like, okay, I can see a rocket go in the air and go into outer space. That's just like really cool to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say it's a pretty similar story for me. Starting off in probably the second grade, where that was the grade where I switched schools from my other elementary school, and then my family moved houses and we moved to a different elementary school. And I was there, and they instantly moved me up to like the advanced classes. Like they had us in different groups of courses, and they were like, "Okay, you're moving too fast for this class. We need to move you to a class better suited for your skills." And it was at that moment where I realized, okay, maybe I'm pretty good at some of these things, and I want to explore that. So numbers was definitely my strongest suit. throughout elementary school, I'd just be like working on math problems, grinding Khan Academy, things of that nature. Because like, I mean, I didn't go home to a console that I could play on every day. I just had like a laptop, and sometimes I'd play different games, like online games like Roblox and things of that nature. Which is also something that played a part into me wanting to be successful, because I saw these games that other kids were building, and I'm like, okay, if they can do it, then I can do it. And that was just one of the things that I saw and I wanted to get. And then trying to get that built that sense of motivation in me to go and be successful in whatever it is I was trying to do. And starting that at a young age was such a blessing. And seeing that at a young age was something that like kind of propelled me forward throughout what will be the rest of my life.
I'm gonna tell you that, like, even with myself, right? And this is funny. So I'm sitting here and I tell you, I'm just kind of trying to find myself. When I was younger, I always watching TV and I always wanted to be an actor or something like that, right?
Mhm.
I used to watch Michael Jackson and now Leave It to Beaver and all that stuff, right? Okay. And I always had it in me that I wanted to do production. So that's part of the reason why I do what I do.
Mhm.
I put on shows and so forth and so on. And the reason why I'm saying bringing this up is because I'm listening to you, but I want any individual out there who have a dream that if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. Know that you just have to put the work in and try to move in that direction. Because, we all have different goals in life. It doesn't mean that, if I remember one time somebody said he wanted to be I was talking in school and I said, what would you like? He said he liked being a postman. And I said, why? He was talking about because the postman, he gets to go to everybody's house and he can meet people. And I was like, okay, but not everybody's going to have the same dreams.
Mhm.
But you know something? That young man could be the best postman,
Exactly.
that's out there. And it's not so much that it's the title in itself, it's doing something that you're proud of, that you feel good doing. So again, that's kudos to the young people out there. And there's a lot of young people out there that's doing some good stuff and there's focus. And I want society to get to a point where if you look at the news in the morning, they got killings going on in school, people going into shooting. You know why all that's happening? That's coming from the household. That's not coming from the streets. That's in your house. If you got kids that don't have nobody to tuck them in, if you don't have nobody to be able to just step in and help them, it's gonna be a problem. Hello, Carla. How you doing?
I'm done. I'm called to be your audience. Kudos and congratulations to these young kings right here. And my name is Rachel Coke, and I'm calling from Maryland. I just got to clap again, audience. Clap with me, y'all. Show me some hands up in the comments.
Yeah.
But I want to say to these guys here, I ain't young with the number on the paper, but I'm young right now with my spirit. Listen to y'all, because y'all are encouraging this bird right here, because I love technology. You remember the Jetsons? I remember hearing one of the young men like they like doing coding and stuff like that. But when you follow your dreams, God will send the people that you need to be connected with, right? And y'all are one of them. But let me just say this. He has led me into, y'all won't remember this, you probably wasn't even born, but you remember the floppy disk?
Okay.
I think so.
They don't know nothing about they don't know nothing about no floppy disk. I'm trying to tell you. Go ahead.
Papa's doing a one-up with telecommunication with the big boy MCI. They don't even know. Look at them shaking their head. Okay. And listen, y'all, I wanna instead of using regular typewriter, I used the daggone computer to do my typing test and got in to be a processing specialist. One. and I ain't had time to go to school. They went and hired a young man to teach me about the DOS and work with the hardware of the mainframe to work with the managers. Now, y'all encouraging me. Y'all taking me back because now I'm trying to learn about coding, about creating apps, about creating robots. I like that Jetson stuff. Y'all remember the Jetsons?
They don't know nothing about the Jetsons either.
Look it up. Y'all into NASA, science, and things like that. Okay, so yeah, I'm old school, but this old school love listening and learning from the new people like yourself. Okay, so y'all got to keep me abreast of what's going on today. Y'all hear me? Don't leave me behind now.
No, we won't.
We
And
won't.
what you gonna do with the technology brain you got? And anyway, this is the audience. Congratulations, young men, and continue doing what you're doing to teach everybody else. It doesn't matter the age. Y'all positive people to people.
That's right.
I love y'all.
We love you. Thank you for calling
Thank you so
in.
much.
Yeah.
Okay, love y'all.
I'm tickled because I'm sitting here. Y'all don't know about the Jetsons and things like that. That was a cartoon where this was when we were real young.
Mhm.
They were showing people talking to each other on television. And back then, we didn't even have to. People didn't have a television in their house, let alone being able to talk to each other and look at a watch and see the person's face, or be able to talk all the way from Washington D.C. to Okinawa, Japan.
Mhm.
See, all of this was on this cartoon, and now y'all are actually living this. And so a lot of people who are a lot older, they looking at y'all like, where did these young men come from?
Right.
You know, but with technology, y'all have advanced in levels that's beyond us. I told you, y'all are inspiring me. I'm sitting here just wondering, what am I going to do to be able to get to the level where y'all are with y'all thinking? Because I want to be like you. I'm old enough to be your father, your grandfather, for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can still teach an old dog new tricks. And what y'all doing is telling me, don't give up, to be the best in my class, and keep moving forward. Don't worry about the skin tone. You know, I struggle with sometimes. I say this publicly. I struggle with getting support from people. The numbers, when people ask, "How many people are looking at your podcast?" My son told me one day. He said, "Dad, don't worry about the numbers. Just keep doing the job that you're doing." He said, "Because if you just save one person, that's good enough." I always looked at that and said, "Hey, if I save one person, that one person may be the person that saved a million."
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, when I'm listening to you, I'm very proud of you, but you're actually teaching me too, and you're setting an example for your parents as well. See, they are in different times, and let's go back to that. Always remember, your parents are the ones that's going to tell you the truth. You're going in there, and sometimes people laugh at the way that I say things, but a lot of times ain't nobody going to tell you your breath stink, but your mom and daddy will. You know, so we you know, these are things that really set it. Hello, all right, how you doing?
Good. I just want to congratulate the young men on what they're doing. Can they hear me?
They can hear you.
We can hear you, Calvin.
Wonderful. His family, his cousin, and that's been a bright young man all his life. And I know that he's gonna go far, do great things, and meet great people, and change a lot of things. And I'm wishing the same for the other young man. Just keep God first. Keep the faith. And when the door slams on your face, you better knock it down and open it back up.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
So, keep doing your thing. I just want to get on here and show my gratitude and love, and y'all are being watched. Whatever little things that you do, somebody is watching, because somebody can learn from every single thing that you do. So whenever you feel like giving up, just keep going.
My man, that's I can take and use that advice too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, yeah, go ahead with the interview. And like I said, keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be different. You got to make your own footpath sometimes. You don't want to trail behind everybody else. Be
Yeah.
different.
Right.
Yeah,
Be different.
you could be the trailblazer, right?
Exactly.
You can be the trailblazer, you can be the trailmaster, but just don't follow somebody just because of what they're doing.
My man, that's some good
You
advice.
never know what people got what they got in their life. So therefore,
That's
you have to pray and get it on your own, because just because they got it, just because they're in that position, doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean they took the faith. So y'all just stick with it.
my man. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yes, sir. Love y'all guys.
All right. Thank you.
This again, this is amazing what I'm looking at. You know, you got so many people are paying attention to you, and I had something on my mind that it had something to do with your parents. The one thing that I want you to know when I was saying that, your parents will come to you and they're going to tell you when you need to tighten up sometimes.
Right.
And sometimes you'll look at them and say, not today, Ma. Not today, Dad. But what I want to give you some good advice. Always step back and listen, because you know what? They'll be the ones that if the house is burning, they'll run in to try to get you out. When everybody else will be looking out there saying, oh man, look at the fire, look at the fire. Not, I'm just using that as a scenario, right?
Mhm.
You understand what I mean?
Right.
They will be the ones that will jump over ship if you went over, not thinking, I'm going to save my child. So sometimes when they're coming at you, don't look at them and say, you know, you the overkill. No, they are the real protectors. They're the ones that'll tell you the truth sometimes. They'll say, yo, you slipping, when nobody else will be able to come up to you and have the nerve to say it to you, or even want to say it to you because they really may not want to see you succeed. Do you know that in this world, you may find two, but it's really only one man that wants you to outdo him? Do you know who it is?
Your dad.
It's your father. Brothers compete all the time, but a father don't compete with his son. Your father is going to give you everything he got in his arsenal to make you be the better man, because he know when he can't roll over, you'll roll him over. You understand that? So always remember, you know, it's only one man going to, everybody else, they going to be telling you something, but sometimes they be saying, yeah, okay, Maddox, you think you all that, but I'm going to show you, right? But right there, that's what he's saying in his mind. But man, you my hero, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes you just got to sit back, and then the wisdom of your mothers, is phenomenal. Behind every successful man, there's a woman. I can tell you that. And 99.9 is your mama,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the one that's going to really, really be down in the pit with you when you're feeling low, when you're feeling down. This is just some old school wisdom that I'm sharing with you. So when it comes to your parents, sometimes just when it's a build up and you're saying, okay, they coming at me, accept it and sit back and listen, because there's a jewel in there somewhere, even from your grandparents. Your grandparents going to see you doing things that they wanted to do. And they will want to say, you know what? Let me tell you this. They'll say, don't walk down that street. You say, why not? They say, just don't walk down there. Sometimes just listen, because they already know that there's a pothole down there that you're not going to see, that you're going to fall in. But that's the wisdom that they give. So a lot of young people out there, we have those issues where we don't want to listen to our elders. And you will find other elders outside of your families as well, who will give you some good, powerful knowledge. I just think that what y'all doing is amazing. I am so proud of you. I think something else that I wanted to add. Okay, so when y'all went to the college, right?
Yeah.
Y'all didn't know each other.
We didn't.
So let me ask you this. What was it, and both of y'all answered this, what was it like when you saw him there And what was it like when you saw him?
I remember the first time we met, like we were walking on the same street near my dorm, and I was relieved because I had seen this guy only online. We met through a mutual friend that we had both in high school. But it was like, okay, I can have somebody, I can have another brother on campus, somebody that will have my back if I need it, because that's really what I needed. I feel like up in college, the first few weeks, I didn't really have someone like that support system, or just like that sense of home. Like I could tell my brother anything. Like I feel sometimes with like, I'm not saying this to say, oh, it's wrong, but sometimes with white people, I can't really just be like, oh, say this joke to them, or maybe it'll be out of pocket. I can't, always have that sense of just brotherly love.
Right.
That's what I felt with him and still feel with him. We are able to just communicate on a different level.
Yeah.
I say for me, like when I finally found this guy, I'm like, finally, because I was looking for him since day one. I'm like, all right, you're from where I'm from, we gotta link up. Yeah. And he knew my best friend from one of my best friends from high school. So I'm like, all right, I definitely gotta get connected with this Joker. So when I finally seen him on the street and I dapped him up, I'm like, okay, bet. College is finna be a nice ride now. I knew that. Yeah. Like, I'm not on edge anymore because I know I got somebody who I can talk to, and it's like, we got two heads. Two heads is always better than one. So I know he's going to see some things that I haven't seen. He's going to tell me to watch out where I need to watch out for, and I'm going to do the same for him. And it's like having somebody like that on campus is just life-changing. Like, you can talk to them about anything, invite them anywhere, and it's like, it's just going to make a world shift difference wherever the two of you are.
Also, I know y'all have had these conversations, but I'm going to say this too. You know what happened when they see them young, beautiful black brothers moving ahead? You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They start to target you. Watch out for them. I don't have to say who they are. You know what I'm talking about. Just be careful, because I'm going to tell you something. It's always a trap. We are a jewel when we're educated and focused. They look at you. We see it with sports all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, look, and they love the culture of the hair and
Right.
the nice thick lips and the body structure. But I'm gonna tell you one thing that really, really excites them is when you're intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful, because I'm gonna tell you something. Sometimes it's just, they may in the beginning start off, oh, you this and that, but it's always a different turn when it really comes down and it don't go a certain way.
Yeah.
So you got to be cautious as you move. Watch your footsteps. Make sure that while y'all there, y'all watch each other's back. And this is not to say nobody's out to get you.
Right, yeah.
We're not saying that, but at the same time, we know the system. We understand the history of this country. We know sometimes we have to work 10 times harder than the average person, which we call the average person not being black. But who is the average person for real?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they make us believe that we are out on the outside. But for real, we are the builders. We are the strong foundations. And when we believe in something, I don't care what it is. Let me tell you something. I already know what y'all gonna do. Y'all just like Tiger Woods when he got into the golf. You're just like Michael Jordan when he's on that basketball court. We talking about different players from football to the only thing you will find that a lot of us don't get involved in. We don't mess with too much water, and we ain't trying to do no mountain climbing. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to tell you, sometimes I'll be like, bruh, why you want to try to climb that mountain? Now, what I do know though, guess what? If it be one of us, when you be knocking that piece in, we gonna knock that mug in.
Oh yeah. Right.
we gonna make sure that joint is secure. Right? Because that's how we move.
Right.
You know what I mean? So y'all, again, I just think that y'all are some very, very intelligent and powerful brothers. It was an honor for me to sit with you. I would ask that you have people to look at the program. Everyone out there, then watch, please. I hope that you hit subscribe, because I'm striving to be the platform. Anytime that you come home, I want you to let me know, because I want to have this opportunity to sit down with you again. So please, the next time that y'all come home, especially after y'all come from doing your internship.
Right.
Please call me on the phone and say, yo, Dr. Grimes, I want to be there. I want to come back and sit down because y'all are like the light of the fire. I'm going to let y'all say a few things. I'm just trying to put some stuff out there. Remember this. You go into a room and it's a lot of people that got candles, right? But you will have your candle that's lit. Do not be afraid to light the other candle because it doesn't take nothing away from your flame.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Right.
When you do that, you help people to grow. So it doesn't just mean by your smart intelligence, the way that you move, but it also means from your heart, being kind and sharing. And keep God in the midst of everything you do. As you already know, I'm telling you, at 65 years old, I'll be sometimes just giving him nothing but glory and praise for what he's doing for me. Let me see. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello, caller.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi. This is Tina, Maddox's mom.
How you doing? You're gonna have to turn down your TV or whatever you're watching the program on so that it don't echo.
Okay, just a minute.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, is that better?
That's much better. How you doing?
I just want to pop on and tell the guys that I'm so proud of them. And I am so glad that they found one another. And I just wanted to ask them a question, and I'm sure this is going to be from myself and from the other mom. What is it that you guys have learned about yourself since you made it through this first year of college? What would you say you are bringing home? What type of newness is there about you?
That's a good question. Good question. Take turns answering it.
I go first.
Go ahead.
I feel like one of the biggest things for me is just I've been able to take more serious the lessons that my family have been trying to, especially my mom and my dad, have been trying to teach me over the years. Especially with my dad, he always tells me to remain humble. Whenever I go into like a room, I don't always say, "Oh, I'm the best person here." I want to portray myself in that way that people will see my, when I enter a room, people know that I'm here. My presence is felt. That's one of the bigger things for me. Being humble has given me so many opportunities at Michigan, whether it was clubs, whether it was awards, and allowed me to be in rooms that I never thought I would imagine with CEOs of aerospace companies, be able to talk with them just because of how I portray myself. Just like I get on the podcast today and just be able to portray myself in a good way, dress presentable. That's the way that Black men should carry themselves all the time. Definitely, I feel like at home, I've gotten a little bit better since I've gone to college and kind of hear the things my parents are saying to me. Kind of taking that with a grain of salt because at the end of the day, I'm doing this for them. So my passion will always lie within my parents and my faith in Christ.
And I'd say for me, one thing that I learned about myself is that my mom was right. I can't live in an island. I know she's been telling me that since probably sophomore year of high school. Anytime I probably wouldn't open up to her about what's going on with my life and things of that nature. And I'm finally starting to see that in real time. And in actuality, when I actually don't have her to talk to, like every single day, like I can just go upstairs and like tell her what's on my mind or anything that I need. And so, yeah, learning to rely on people was something that I had to change about myself. Coming into college, I'm the type of man to always have a contingency plan. So if you fall out on me, I already have a plan for what I'm going to do if you don't come through like I needed you to. But I guess kind of learning to let up my guard a little bit and to let certain people into my circle, some that I can trust, like Maddox here, and to tell them what's going on so that, number one, I have another person who's keeping me accountable and making sure that I'm getting out to go do what I need to do. Number two, it's a lot more fun And you got to learn, like, being in college, it's easy to isolate yourself. It's easy to tell everybody no and just be in your own corner and not even talk to your roommate at times. But after the weeks pile up, you learn that we're humans, we're social creatures. So you have to keep to your nature or else you're going to break down. So that's something I had to learn, to let others into my little circle and have an island full of people instead of being by myself.
And another thing I also learned was just be able to take constructive criticism. My dad's been telling me this since I was a little kid, and I didn't want to listen. But that's kind of the biggest ways that I did grow academically, professionally this whole year, and a little bit socially also, because I'm able to see how other people like look at things. Not everyone's gonna have one certain answer, or there may be different ways to do, solve different problems. I know, like, being in a friend group, everyone is not always gonna want to do the same thing, but just being able to hear other people out for things they're saying. Being on a big team like Michigan Rocketry team has also given me like a big way to, I guess, have that initiative, take initiative on certain problems, but also see like how does what I'm doing fit into the bigger group, and then also see how I can make change. That, like, then again, it's a full circle moment. Kind of see how I can be my own person, but also kind of listen to other people's ideas. And that's kind of how industry is. That one thing goes wrong, you can't fall off and just leave it alone. Someone has to sometimes step up and be that person that fixes a problem, or you're going to have a business decision within a company, and you all have to meet about it and figure out how do you solve this. You may have a part on a rocket that doesn't work, or a system that is leaking. How can you come together and bring it so that the whole mission works?
Right.
Yeah. So,
That's probably, that was a very, very good question to ask them.
That is so amazing. And I just want to let you guys know that it's not by chance or an accident or something like that that you guys are together. It was the prayers of your parents who, said that we want to make sure you're good. We may lose sleep worrying about you guys, but now that you guys found each other, I see you're motivating each other. Keep that going. I see that you guys are applying for scholarships together. You're applying for internships, and I just want to tell you guys I love you guys. Keep it going, and yeah, that's all. See you.
Love you.
thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
I tell you, man. Again, for all those that just, you joining in, please let other people watch this podcast. Please go in, subscribe, hit like, and let me say this. Listen to what these gentlemen were talking about, which is really important for the parents. It starts at home. It starts from the seeds that we plant. I know that we got 1,000 and thousands of other young men just like these guys. You're not the only one.
Mm-hmm.
You are special, but you're not the only one. God is amazing in what he does. He's put some of you to be leaders, to lead a certain level. And some of us don't know how to be leaders. Some of us are followers. But you can have a chief without no Indians. You don't have a tribe, right?
That's right.
So sometimes, you got to find that person. I've run into a few of my friends and I say, hey, I don't mind carrying your bags because I'm proud of what they're doing. And I don't mind doing that part. I will carry your bags as you move forward, because when I see you succeed, I succeed. So, thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity for y'all to come in and join the conversation. We was running a little behind because a lot of times, man, I be doing a lot. Y'all don't know what I do. Come preparing for the podcast, trying to spell the right name. I'm in here typing, and we got Lady Z, my wife, who is running the board back there, and she's looking at me, telling me to calm down, and and try to be on top of things. But at the same time, we got to put that work in. Somebody got to do it, and somebody got to accept responsibility for the things that's going on. I can say to the families that's out there that's struggling, look at this going on with these kids, and look at you two young men we got right here. This is a prime example of something that we need to mimic. All of us, we need to mimic this. plant those seeds in these young people's mind that they can achieve these personal goals. These guys are not trying to work at Walmart. They're not talking about Home Depot. They're not talking about going to be proud for doing 10 years in a penitentiary being treated like an animal. They're talking about helping people go to the moon and to be able to teleport people from one place to another. This is what these guys is talking about. And I'm telling you, these will be the guys that do it. Again, I just want to personally tell you thank you. I'm reaching up because I want to shake your hand.
Absolutely.
It was my pleasure. My pleasure. You
Thank
know,
you so much.
you know, and really, really. Yeah, you sit back there because my cameras don't move over there.
Yeah.
But for everybody to tune in, you know what's up. It's people to people, power to power, power to thinking people. We got these two young men that they made a promise they'll come back once they do their internship. And we're gonna be looking forward to and keeping an eye on what they're doing. And also you will find out that what I possibly will be able to do, because I could actually Skype you in.
Mhm.
So if you get something going on and you want to talk about it and share it with the public, call me. And I can, wherever you at, I give you the code, you just put it in, and you can talk right on your phone or your computer, and we can still have that personal time and interview. And just know that we watching you. It's people to people, power to power, positive people. I love you. I'm your host, Dr. Rodney Alex Grimes. Love you.